New Fallout TV show, it's too obvious. Number 33, The Eye of Providence, a massacre during a wedding. Why are they doing this? You know why. Just like with everything else, they put their gay little encoded messages on media to A. Brag that they control media. B. Predictive program. C. Revelation of the method. Film industry. Music industry. Big tech. Gee, I wonder why all of these things are located at the same place. A massacre during a wedding. What does this signify? That OP has autism and looks too hard for symbols in everything. You could maybe just not watch Masonic media? If you see the Masonic calling card, then just don't watch it? That means he won't watch any media. There's some independent stuff out there that's not Masonic. The number 33. Man, my son's counting chart is fucking satanic Masonic propaganda. It has 33 and a ton of other numbers on it. Rewatch Dark City. How many marriage references? Hints will increase this year. No one cares, the show is shit and it's obvious no one's gonna remember it a month after it finishes, people aren't even watching it now. They could have made something big with such a big and established franchise, but the acting, the cast, and the way it is directed are obviously targeting young snowflakes. It's already failed. I watched this and realized Milton as Fred Giboy like putting a puzzle piece in its rightful spot. I wish you'd stop talking in backwards riddles and just tell me what it means. Do you read the last page of a book first? Some people do, but I think it's weird. It's certainly not a good way to understand a story. This show is trash, lol. You speak in riddles because you have nothing valuable. Your brain short-circuit and you make trivial connections thinking it's profound. One day you will realize just how much information I provided you all these years. We just lost FC and years of research, probably in part due to spelling things out a bit too clearly, despite the low traffic. They won't delete this honeypot, but they will nuke the thread before you even see it. Hints appear to be much more tolerated, though not always. And that amount is 0. I saw Moist Critical say it's good in the thumbnail, then again I don't know, could just be average. For someone who knows about the creepy crawl eyes underneath, the tension we're dealing with above, and somewhat of the snow globe we're living in, what would you point me to in order to discover more about our blind leaders, Brotherhood of the Serpent, and the actual mess we're in? Having to wait for the next slow drip in June is unbearable for somebody who wants to take action desperately but cannot. Are you retarded? It's literally the most watched thing so far this year. I'm not basing that off bullshit from the company/reviewers either, I can tell by trending algos on the illegal sites. He can't talk plainly because he's literally a schizophrenic, Anon. T. Spent time with schizos in the psych ward. There is a crazy outpouring of super secret special information from people who have recovered their memories of being abducted into the programs. Please be careful because this shit is heavy and dark and the abyss will stare back. Tell us for more esoteric stuff. Arcame RA for the dirt on the music industry. Spoiler, it's fucking dark. Penny Bradley, Nachtwaffen pilot, for Nazis in space, not really Nazis FYI, Christy Campbell for witch brothels. If this stuff is too heavy for you, I would start with Mark Paccio. There's literally a scene where the girl says want to have sex and the man replies like, with my cock. I think this is the result of extreme nepotism, the decadent stupid children of formerly amazing genius elites, because it's the only thing to explain shit writing, ugly actresses and actors, boring plots, etc. This is low-level poo-poo-dada. If you want a real quality doco on what is going on, play Bloodborne, watch Evangelion, plus Rebuilds, Nadia's Secret of Blue Water, even fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is better. BTW, the marriage thing is a reference to the alchemical wedding, i.e. union of the material and spiritual worlds. It's not about a particular group or knowing about the right gatekeeper insider that we usually see here. The trick is to have the right mentality. For example, the girl in the Fallout show who lives in Vault 33. What's her name? Lucy. How many Lucys in Fallout? Notice that old lady Palmer is Lucy Palmer. Why would an old Lucy be named Palmer? And how is that related to the thread? It's called Twilight language. My theory for the repeating symbolic numbers and symbols is for subliminal continuity in viewers. If they see it in everything, it will make all of the collective lessons canon in their mind. It strengthens the act of inception. Massacre at a wedding or stabbing during sex, it provokes anxiety in the female when she is approached with the thought of marriage. Afterward, she engages in sexual contact with a black man. It's just race mixing, destructive propaganda for women. That's why the actress was chosen. She's who white, representing as many literal me potential as possible. The fuck? How is this even getting into TV shows? Reminds me of that one blurb on the Resident Evil TV show I didn't watch. Zootopia porn. When I heard that, my jaw dropped. Who's writing this shit? Bump. It's the fixed cross of Aquarius. Each character represents the emerging and overcoming of the Aquarian ideals of their particular cult versus the old, represented by their literal antagonists, broader setting, or circumstance. Lucy, Venus in Taurus, Gilded Vault life. Maximus, Mars in Scorpio, secretive yet honorable warrior. The Ghoul, Saturn in Aquarius, forever crippled / changed after service to humanity. Talentless hacks. The failed children of men that were far more smarter, cunning, and planning than they are. Just like the average quality of man gets reduced, elites are not immune to their own propaganda nor the mass culture of the modern times. Imagine having zero talent to write, zero talent to act, zero genetic beauty, but you are propped up by dad's cash because he still wants to see his little baby princess succeed. I legitimately think they are there for the taking. They are clowns. Incompetents. Losers. Hiding behind a little bit of cash, but otherwise useless. Look at them spamming 33 everywhere, LARPing like they're LE epic mystery called Freemasons XDDD, while the old stock used to encode everything they did through legitimate mysteries, coordinate systems, grand architecture, various measurement systems. Being embedded in famous art or symbolism in movies, in religious texts, etc. Stop watching Jewish TV shows. I didn't even know this shit existed until I saw memes of it made by some F-slur that is paying attention to the slop for some reason, and it makes me hate you all more than the Jews that made it. You brought it to my attention, not the Jews. The Fallout series was created by married couple Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan, the creators of the Westworld series. The first season of Westworld had pretty good writing, if I remember correctly. Consider the awkward and drawn-out sex scene at the beginning of Under the Silver Lake. One of the film's major subplots is about a band called Jesus and the Brides of Dracula. Sometimes they want to deter a particular audience from watching the content, because they know their lesser dragon lost. As an old fag who loved all the Fallout games, even the bad ones, and thinks the show is a pretty dang good rendition, I wholeheartedly agree with this post. Clearly you haven't seen any of the works referenced Mr. Young F-slur. Ask anything about the lore in any of the topics and I will give you the real world answer. Or you can spend some time watching them yourself. I'll even give the real world analogies for the tropes used by the shows. Oh, you're intelligent, let's play. What do you think of the Fallout theory of elite pre-war cults triggering a nuclear apocalypse to curtail humanity and better reshape the world, and for underground non-human overlords depicted throughout pre-war art and architecture? Do you think those chthonic winged statues are similar to the technochrome-like fairy angels so often depicted by Grimes like in this post's art? And since we all know nukes aren't real, what do you think is the real disclosure behind an artificial or perhaps natural force that kills or transforms life forms into large, grotesque mutations, sweeping across the land in localized, explosive, or perhaps implosive phenomenon? So it's safe to assume you've not heard of Battelle Memorial Institute. How about Monsanto? Gee whiz, I've never heard of either. Are those who Bethesda based the institute on? Are they the ones introducing genealogical cryptid perversions into the ecosystem in desperate attempt to bioengineer their own super race ahead of their enemies? Basically watch Stargate SG-1. I'm not kidding. The United States Air Force even makes cheeky nods in some episodes. They are one of the compartmented arms inside of the umbrella, yes. These facilities are also where Ilmao bodies are stored. Craft and tech are at different locations though, some in materials sciences industry, some in aviation manufacturing military industrial complex. Standard list of usual suspects. Another big name that isn't talked about in this umbrella is Textron. The one that purchased Bell Helicopter. Some interesting UFO lore relevant to some of the more insidious institute happenings. Literally Westech Labs, which was the progenitor for the FEV virus, was hit by a direct nuke during the exchange with China in the games, which was the primary means of releasing the initial FEV virus which caused all the mutations including creation of the ghouls. Progenitor for the VALT program. Yes, Vault-Tec will have moon and orbital installations. Yes, Vault-Tec has cryogenic storage tanks etc. Yes, Vault-Tec has an active presence in the wasteland immediately after the original Great War of 2078 and at present. It's going to be primarily administered by and eventually co-opted by Mr. House of Robco, analog to Microsoft, but Billy's dad, not Silly Billy himself. Very interesting, thanks. It almost sounds like Lockheed and other gov/mil intel hubs are being disguised as aviation, medical, and/or tech companies headquartered in Bethesda, Maryland. Bethesda Naval Hospital is where James Forrestal conveniently died from falling out of a window.
To the town of Olive, we rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't
Like, share, subscribe and be sure to check the notification bell. Follow the Atomic Shaman on Twitter at Motel and RV Park. Listen to Paranormal Green Text stories on Atomic Shaman TTS on YouTube. Catch the live streams of Atomic Shaman Sweat Lodge only on Rumble.